Hi and welcome to our overview of the class. This video, I'll make it as quick as I can, but I do want to give you an overview of all the assignments and everything that is required of this course. And really this is just to help you. I like to see kind of a visual of what's required of me week by week. So that's what this whole video is about. Just a quick word about myself. My name's Andy. You can call me Andy, feel free to. You don't have to call me professor or anything like that. But my name's Andy, my wife, that's a picture of my wife Mallory and our daughter Sophia, and then our daughter Selah, who's going to be born actually in October this semester. So forgive me if that first week of October I'm a little bit preoccupied, but that's our little family. I preach at Restoration Movement Church at Hillside Christian Church in Marshfield, Missouri. Been here for a few years. My degree is just so you can kind of see a little bit about me and why I'm the one teaching this. I went to Ozark Christian College. I got a BTH there, which is a sort of like a 5-year glorified undergrad degree, and specifically New Testament. And then I got an MA in Church History at Lincoln. So that's what you're taking this course through, and now I'm finishing my PhD in Church History at Scotland. In particular, I'm focusing a lot on spiritual maturity in the early church, especially in the 4th and 5th centuries. That's the easy way of describing what I'm studying. So that's a little bit about me, but now let's go to the course. Okay, these are your textbooks. That first book, Union and Truth, yours might actually end up looking like this one. This is my copy. It's the exact same page numbers and everything. So don't worry. This is actually the one on the slide is actually a reprint from 2019. So still popular, and it's still the same pages, still the same exact material. James North. Now I have about 20 books that are histories of the Restoration movement, and I wrestled for a while about which one to use for this course, and ultimately I chose this one because it gives the best overview picture. A lot of the other ones kind of focus in on some issues that I think are less vital in getting the big picture. So instead of giving you a 700-page summary, this is half that length, and that's what Union and Truth is. The second one, this is a really recent book, Scripture First. Really a delightful and very quick read. And this is actually, you're not actually going to read the whole thing. You're going to start on page 77 and finish through the book there. It's not that the first 2 chapters aren't good, but they're just not relevant to exactly what we're talking about in this class. So feel free to say those. Everyone who has written in this book, and this is a collection of different chapters by different authors, everyone in it is in some way associated with the Restoration movement, and they're wrestling with, the whole book is designed to wrestle with what it means to put Scripture first and how that fleshes out in practice. And really great discussions, and it highlights some things that I'm going to come back to again and again throughout this course. So these first 2 are the only required ones. This third one, this one right here, this is not a requirement. This textbook, it's a monster. You go on Amazon and you see the page, it's only 380 pages or so, but they're double columned, and it's a lengthy book, but it's not required. If you're interested in kind of seeing the Restoration movement in specific areas of the world, this book does a great job of that. It spends over half the book in talking about missions and how it's grown throughout the world, but it also does a really good job in talking about the issue of slavery and kind of the histories of that with our movement. So it's not required at all, but if you're wanting to, this is really the only book I would recommend outside of our 2 textbooks. These 2 are the required books. Okay. Just to get into the assignments, and I'm going to go over each of these in this video. Really, you have 5, and I count the final in there as one of the assignments. All of these are, roughly 20% of your grade, and it's all broken down for you in your syllabus. Each week, you'll have a weekly reading and video lecture, and you'll have a forum post, which will be due Wednesday and Friday. The two kind of projects that aren't week by week, that are kind of standalone, is the identifying document and the Unity project. So if you're looking at, hey, what are the big assignments I have this semester, these are the two, and we'll outline those. And then you have the final, and the final, and I'm going to give you the questions for the final in this video. The final is something you can actually be working on throughout the whole semester, something you can start writing as you go on. Okay, just to talk about our weekly reading and what that looks like. So on Canvas, the way Canvas is broken down is you can have modules, and what I've done, just to make it simple, is each week has a module, and on those modules you'll have any documents that are outside of your books. So if I have a PDF on there of some correspondence, like I'll have you read, that will be on there. I'll have the link to the video. Now this is a link that I'm only giving you access to. People can't just search these online, so this is what this video is because you paid for this course. And that's what each module will have. And if anything is due, I'll also have a Turnitin box for you on those modules. So everything, if you start your week out by looking at your module, you'll have everything that you need there. Okay, just one more quick note. Each Wednesday, so Wednesday is also the night your forum's due, there's a quiz, and the only questions on the quiz is how much of the video and how much of the reading did you do. Be honest with it. Even if you didn't finish it, fill it out. And you know, in many cases, as long as you're doing it, I'll still end up giving you full credit if you're in good communication with me. And I would recommend starting with the video each week, but that's certainly not required. Okay, the weekly forum. This is the blood of the class. I mean, if you want to get a lot out of the class, this is the thing to invest a lot of time in each week. So there's 2 total posts. First one's due on Wednesday night, second one by Friday night. And basically the Friday one is a response to someone else's from Wednesday. First one has to be 300 words. I've had people who, you know, will end up writing 301. That's incredibly convenient that you know, you get to 301 words and you're done talking. And I've had people write 600 and more, and both of those are completely fine. I'll give the same perfect grade for those. But you'll get out of this what you put in, and that doesn't necessarily mean more words. It just means, you know, you can tell when someone's really spending time with this. I provide, and this is under the modules for each week, I provide prompts and questions related to the material if you don't know what to write about, but that's not a requirement. You can write on anything and relating the material to your ministry or things you're wrestling through from the material. It's really open to be a discussion for everyone to have. So this is the chance to do that. This is the chance to really get into it. So yeah, the first one must include, this is the only thing that you kind of have to have in each one. Most people just put this at the end. One researchable question. It's not just, you can ask how people feel about things, that's good, and you ought to, but you need to include one researchable question, whether that's if we know any data about a specific person or a specific time, or it's up to your imagination. But that's so that people, when they reply, are replying with research to that question. And this is just designed so that people, quite honestly, don't vomit on their keyboard and just to get a word count on the reply. So the second post, it has no word requirement. You just have to actually answer the question. So it could be short. Could be literally just a chart. I've seen answers in forum posts of just charts that were data to reply to questions. I've answered questions by just, you know, a few sentences. So those don't get paranoid that your response isn't long enough. The real one is just making sure you engage with the questions. And just so you know, and this is a large class, you know, at the time of recording this is July 7th. We have 19 people, but we'll probably end up having more, and typically a few people drop it just because of various reasons. But I'll go through all of these, and that's why it kind of takes me 2 days, because I I'll go through and reply to each one, not quickly. I'll take my time in thinking through and researching any response that I need to give. So that's what those forum posts are for Saturday and Sunday. And first and last week forum posts look different. So the first one is just a kind of a spiritual biography, and I have descriptions of what those look like in the syllabus under the assignments. So first one, you don't actually have to respond to the video in any way. Okay, the identifying document. Now this is the only assignment that is due during the middle of the semester, outside of the the weekly requirements. And this assignment is designed chiefly, and what this class has historically been, for self-discovery, not just for you but for your church. Usually what happens is this assignment helps people in communication with their leadership, if you're part of a Christian church, to kind of let people know what has been the driving force of the Christian church, Churches of Christ, and disciples. So there's two possibilities for this, and it will depend if you're currently a part of the Restoration Movement church or not. For those who are, the design is create something, some sort of identifying document that's useful for your congregation and for your leadership. So whether that's for new people, I know here at Hillside we have kind of a new members course, and one of the pages that I have in that is I kind of outline, hey, this is what the Restoration Movement has been about, unity, about Scripture, and about all the things that the Restoration Movement has stood for. So that's what this assignment is designed for. Now, for those of you who are not part of the Restoration Movement, this is mostly a comparison paper, so a 2,000-word comparison of emphasis and doctrines, and what are the differences between the church you're a part of and a Restoration Movement part. So this is outlined for you more in the syllabus, and what kind of how I'll grade it is outlined in the syllabus. But this is one I'll take early, and we'll review it, give it back to you. I'll even tell you what grade I would have given you, and all of that because I want to help you succeed in this. Okay. Unity Project. This is a big one. This is due during the semester as well, and this is chiefly finding a form of doing ministry with other people that aren't in your immediate context. And so it's designed to grow and practice unity, so you're not driving by the churches learning about the Restoration Movement without implementing, seeking to live as one church. Now the exact nature of this will differ from student to student in so many ways. I know years ago when I did this, it involved meeting in my living room with leaders from other churches and talking about the possibility of doing more services together. And for many people it'll look different. Some of you're already doing some form of ministry with people involved in other churches or in denominations, and those can already count. I mean, that's we're just continuing to grow that. And the form for this and the specifics more of the Unity Project can be in the syllabus. Only ask that before you kind of say, okay, this is what I'm going to do, that you email me and just a brief line about what it looks like, what you're going to do, and I'll do it and maybe just have a few suggestions for you about how to do this. But the form that you're actually turning in for this it's at the last page of your syllabus. So you can see kind of what is further required on that. So here's the final. These are the 4 questions. Basically, I'm requiring you to write 500 words on each of these. They're not easy questions. That's why I'm giving them to you now, and because I'm not trying to trap you by any means. I just want you to be able to really wrestle through these questions and provide some sort of answer. Yeah, and all of these are just directly involved with things we're going to be talking about through the semester. You're free to start working on them now and copy and paste your answers into the final. I mean, that's completely acceptable. But these are the questions, and really the only 2 things I'm going to grade you on is, did you answer the question, and does it reflect that you've engaged with the Stone Campbell movement? And those are pretty loose because the answers for these will probably vary greatly from student to student. But I want to learn with you, and I want to engage with you throughout the semester and wrestle through some of the pressing issues that the Restoration movement is faced with now going forward. So that's it. That's our whole video. If you have any other questions, I'm here to serve you. I mean, this is more than a job to me. This is something I will be in prayer for through the semester. And what I mean by that is every night at 10 p.m. I'll pray for everyone in this class. And as I'm going through the forum posts, that's what I'll do as well. So if you even have prayer requests and things you want me to be praying for, that's my promise to you. Yeah, so if you have questions, feel free to shoot me an email. And as always, I've never been bothered by people asking or wanting to expand further or even meet about a topic that they didn't quite understand. I'm at your service this semester, so feel free to engage as much as possible with me and with other students. All right, God bless you all, and I'm looking forward to getting to know you this semester.